I haven't told anyone the full truth about what happened that night. Not my family, not my lawyer. But I need to get this out because I still don't understand what I experienced. It was March 2023. I was 22 and I got arrested for a DUI. My first real mistake. I wasn't even that drunk. I blew a 0.09 just barely over. But it was enough. They put me in handcuffs outside a gas station in Riverside County, California, and I remember crying in the back of the patrol car like a child. The processing took hours. Fingerprints, mugshot, paperwork. By the time they walked me to a holding cell, it was almost 2 a.m. The officer, a tired-looking guy in his 50s, told me I'd be released in the morning after I saw a judge. Just one night. That's all it was supposed to be. The cell was small, concrete walls, a metal toilet, 2 benches on opposite sides, and someone was already in there. He was sitting on the far bench, head down, hands folded in his lap. He wore an orange jumpsuit like mine, but his looked older, faded. The overhead light was flickering, so I couldn't see his face clearly at first. The door slammed behind me. I stood there for a second, not sure what to do. I'd never been in a situation like this. My heart was pounding. "Hey," I said quietly. He didn't respond. I sat down on the opposite bench, as far from him as possible. I pulled my knees up and tried to make myself small. I just wanted the night to be over. For a while, it was silent. I could hear other people down the hallway. Someone yelling, footsteps, keys jangling. But inside our cell, nothing. Then he spoke. "What did you do?" His voice was flat. No emotion. I glanced up. He still hadn't moved. Still looking down. DUI, I said. "You?" He didn't answer right away, then, "I've been here a long time." That felt odd. This was a holding cell, not a prison. People didn't stay in holding for long. But I didn't say anything. I didn't want to start a conversation. I tried to close my eyes and lean against the cold wall, but I couldn't relax. The fluorescent light kept buzzing and flickering. It made everything feel wrong. After maybe 20 minutes, he spoke again. "You're scared." It wasn't a question. "I'm fine," I lied. "You don't have to be." I looked at him then. Really looked. His head was still down, but I could see part of his face now. Pale. Really pale. His hands were completely still in his lap. He hadn't moved once since I got in. "What's your name?" he asked. I hesitated. "Ryan." "Ryan," he repeated slowly, like he was tasting the word. "That's a good name." Something about the way he said it made my skin crawl. I shifted on the bench, trying to create more distance even though there was nowhere to go. "Do you believe in second chances, Ryan?" "I guess," I said. I never got one. The flickering light went out completely. The cell went dark. My breath caught. I heard my own heartbeat in my ears. Then the light came back on. He still hadn't moved. I don't know why, but that's what scared me most. He was sitting in the exact same position, same posture, same folded hands. Like he was a statue. "How long until they let you out?" he asked. "Morning, after I see the judge." "Morning," he repeated. "That soon?" "Yeah. I don't get to leave." I didn't know what to say to that. I pulled my arms tighter around my knees. Time crawled. I kept checking the clock on the wall outside the cell. 2:47 a.m., 3:12 a.m., 3:36 a.m. Every minute felt like an hour. Around 4 a.m. I had to use the toilet. I didn't want to, not with him there, but I couldn't hold it anymore. I stood up and walked to the metal toilet in the corner. I kept my back to him, listening, waiting for him to say something, or move. Nothing. When I turned around, he was looking at me. His head was up now, his eyes were open, and I could see his face fully for the first time. He looked wrong. His skin wasn't just pale, It was grey, his lips were blue, and his eyes, they were open, but they weren't focused. They were staring past me, through me. "Are you okay?" I asked, my voice shaking. He didn't blink. I sat back down, my hands trembling. Something was very wrong. I stood up and walked to the cell door. I looked down the hallway. No one was there. "Hey," I called out. "Hey, I need help in here." My voice echoed. No response. I banged on the bars. "Someone, please." Nothing. I turned back to him. He was still staring, still not blinking. "Dude, are you okay?" I asked again, louder this time. He didn't move, didn't breathe. And that's when I realized it. He wasn't breathing. I watched his chest. No rise, no fall, nothing. Panic hit me. I ran to the door again and screamed, "Help! Something's wrong! Help!" Finally, I heard footsteps. The same officer from earlier appeared, looking annoyed. "What's going on?" He's not moving. I think something's wrong with him." The officer looked past me into the cell. His expression changed instantly. He grabbed his radio. "I need medical in holding cell 3. Now." Everything happened fast after that. More officers arrived, a medical team. They unlocked the cell and rushed to him. I was pulled out into the hallway. I watched through the bars as they checked him. One of the EMTs looked up and shook his head. "He's gone. Looks like he's been gone for hours." My stomach dropped. Hours. I'd been sitting in a cell with a dead body for hours, but that wasn't possible. He'd talked to me. He'd asked me questions. He'd moved his head. I saw him look at me. He was talking. I said to the officer next to me. We had a conversation. The officer looked at me, confused. "What?" "He talked to me. He asked me my name. Kid, that man's been dead since before you got here. We found him during bed check around midnight. We were waiting for the coroner." My blood went cold. "That's not possible." "I heard him. I spoke to him." The officer's face changed. He looked uncomfortable. "You were alone in that cell?" No, he was there. He spoke to me." Another officer and a woman stepped closer. "Ryan, we moved the body to cell 3 temporarily because the coroner was delayed. You were placed in cell 5. I stared at her. No, I was in cell 3. You put me in cell 3. She shook her head slowly. "Cell 5. I walked you there myself." They showed me the paperwork, the logs. Everything said cell 5, but I knew what I saw. I knew what I heard. They released me that morning without seeing a judge. The DUI charges were dropped. I think they just wanted me gone, wanted to avoid questions. I didn't argue, but here's the part that keeps me up at night. 2 weeks later, I got a message on Instagram from an account with no profile picture, no posts, just a blank page. The message said, "You're scared. You don't have to be." The exact words he said to me. I blocked the account immediately. But 3 days later, another message. Different account. Same words. "That's a good name, Ryan." I made my account private. Changed my username. But they keep finding me. Last month, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Inside was a single piece of paper with a printed photo. It was me, sitting on the bench in that holding cell, alone. But in the corner of the photo, barely visible in the bad lighting, there was something on the opposite bench, a shadow, shaped like a person, sitting exactly where he sat. I still don't know what I talked to that night. I don't know who's sending me messages. But sometimes, late at night, I hear it. That same flat voice, whispering my name.